Hello guys, welcome to another session of learning with prep class. I am BC. I am a prep class tutor. It's always good to have you here. So in this video, I'm going to be solving questions 46 to question 50 of the Akwa Pre-Vocational Studies Agricultural Science for the year 2018. Subscribe to our channel. This is where you can get more videos like this. The past questions have been solved, so this would help you in the preparation for your examinations. All right, also don't forget to like and comment on this video too, as I'll be glad to respond to your comments in the comment section. Thank you. So now let's begin. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin. 46. A feed that contains all the classes of food is said to be dash ration. A. Maintenance. B. Production. C. Balance. D. Diet. Do you have an idea of the answer to this question? Okay, so before we answer the question, let's find out the meaning of each of the following options. What does maintenance ration mean? What does production ration mean? What does balanced ration mean? And what does diet mean? Okay, so this would help us to choose the correct answer. Okay, so the first one is maintenance ration. So maintenance ration is the daily feed allowance per animal in correct amount and proportion meant to maintain the animal's life without increasing or decreasing in weight. Okay, so this is the feed that is given to an animal just to maintain the animal's life. The animal does not increase or decrease in weight. Okay, so what about production ration? Production ration is the extra amount of feed an animal needs above the maintenance ration. So this means that the production ration is more than the maintenance ration, so that the animal can do work or produce products such as milk, meat, eggs, and offspring. So when you want them to produce products such as milk, meat, eggs, and offspring, or when you want them to do some kind of work, then you have to increase their feed. Okay, so you have to provide an extra amount of feed that is above the maintenance ration. So this ration is called production ration. Okay, the next one is balanced ration. A balanced ration is the amount of feed that will supply the proper amount and proportions of nutrients needed for an animal to perform a specific purpose, such as growth, maintenance, lactation, or gestation. This ration contains all the classes of food. So what about diet? A diet is any feed ingredient or mixture of feed ingredients that an animal consumes. So any feed ingredient, any kind of food that the animal consumes is called a diet. So which of the following is correct? A feed that contains all the classes of food is said to be balanced ration. Remember, balanced ration contains all the requirements, all the feed required by the animal in proper proportion, and it contains all the classes of food. So the correct option is C, balance. Check. So question 47. The husk of the seed which is separated from the grain is the dash. A, B, legume, C, straw, D, chaff. So which of these is correct? I'm sure some of you would have seen this before. So it's like a protective casing of grains. Okay, so a chaff is the dry, scaly protective casing of the seeds of cereal grains. It is the husk surrounding a seed. It is that part of the grain that is thrown away. So it is that part of the grain that is thrown away. Examples of cereal crops that have this husk are rice, barley, oats, and wheat. So all of these cereal crops are surrounded by a husk. So that husk of the seed is known as chaff. So the correct option here is D, chaff. Question 48. Dash is the planting of ornamental crops and management of landscape. A. Horticulture. B. Floriculture. C. Silviculture. D. Agriculture. There is nothing like silviculture, okay? There's nothing like silviculture. So for us to be able to find the correct option, let's define horticulture, floriculture, and agriculture. The answer is one of the three because there is nothing like silviculture. Okay, so the first one is horticulture. What is horticulture? Horticulture is the growing of flowers, fruits, vegetables, and ornamental plants. Okay, so that is horticulture. What about floriculture? Floriculture is the cultivation of flowers, okay, just flowers. Okay, then agriculture is the science or act of cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products. So agriculture is the science of cultivating the soil for growing of crops and also the rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products. So now the question is, dash is the planting of ornamental crops and management of landscape. So the answer is horticulture. Remember that horticulture has to do with planting of flowers, ornamental crops, fruits, and management of landscape. Okay, so the correct option here is A. So horticulture is the planting of ornamental crops and management of landscape. So the correct option here is A. Okay, question 49. The following are the branches of agriculture except dash. A. Fishery and crop production. B. Mining and drilling. C. Social science and veterinary medicine. D. Horticulture and animal science. Okay, so first of all, what is agriculture? Agriculture is the science or art of cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products. So we have said this in the previous question. So now agriculture has to do with growing of crops and rearing of animals, right? So this means that we have to find which of the options that does not involve the growing of crops and rearing of animals. So fishery and crop production are branches of agriculture. So fishery has to do with fish production, then crop has to do with cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops. Okay, so fishery and crop production are branches of agriculture. Social science is also a branch of agriculture. Do you know that? An example is agricultural economics. This deals with the economic problem in agriculture. So social science is a branch of agriculture. What about veterinary medicine? So veterinary medicine is a branch of medicine. It's also a branch of agriculture that involves the prevention, control, diagnosis, and treatment of animal diseases, animal injuries, or animal disorders. Okay, so what about horticulture? We mentioned this in the previous question. So horticulture is the growing of flowers, ornamental plants, and fruits, right? Okay, so this means that horticulture is a branch of agriculture. Animal science is also a branch of agriculture. So fishery and crop production, social science and veterinary medicine, and horticulture and animal sciences are branches of agriculture. But mining and drilling are not branches of agriculture. This has to do with the extraction of valuable minerals, and this doesn't have anything to do with agriculture. So mining and drilling are not branches of agriculture. So the following are the branches of agriculture except mining and drilling: fishery and crop production, social science and veterinary medicine, horticulture and animal science are all branches of agriculture, but mining and drilling are not branches of agriculture. So the correct option here is B. Check. Now to the last question in this video, question 50. Forests influence the environment in the following ways except A. Serve as windbreak. B. Purification of air. C. Supply raw materials to the industry. D. Formation of cloud. So first of all, we are going to define what forest means, and we'll also find the ways by which each of these options is an influence of the forest on the environment. Okay, so first of all, what is a forest? A forest is an area of land dominated by trees. So when there are many trees in an area of land, that is a forest. Okay, so the first option is serve as windbreak. So forests serve as windbreak. But what is windbreak? Windbreaks are rows or trees or shrubs that reduce the force of the wind. So when there are so many trees in a place, that is a forest, there would be reduction in the force of the wind. This can reduce soil erosion, increase crop yields, and protect livestock from heat and cold. They create a habitat for wildlife. Windbreaks can also be sources of wood and food. So you can see that windbreak is an influence of forest on the environment. Okay, so what about purification of air? Do you know that forests help us to purify the air? How, you would ask me. Now let's find out. Forests have a lot of trees, and trees are natural air purifier as they undergo photosynthesis. Plants release huge amounts of oxygen to the atmosphere as a product of photosynthesis. So, you know what photosynthesis is, right? Photosynthesis is the process by which plants make their food. Okay? So, during that process, they release huge amount of oxygen to the atmosphere, and then they absorb carbon dioxide from the environment. Okay? So, they help to remove harmful particles. They help to remove not only carbon dioxide but also harmful particles and pollutants that may be in the air. Pollutants like nitrous oxide that are very harmful to the human and animal health. So these plants help to absorb all of this. So therefore, forests help in purifying the air. So by releasing oxygen and by absorbing carbon dioxide and other harmful particles, forests help in purifying the air. Okay, so what about supply raw materials to the industry? This is not a forest influence on the environment, okay? Although it could be an influence for the industry, but this is not an influence of forest on the environment. What about formation of cloud? Forest trees take up water from the soil through their roots and release water vapor into the air through the process called transpiration. So this water vapor helps in the formation of clouds and bring about rainfall. So you can see that forests help to attract rainfall. Okay, so it's very important for us to keep forests. So serve as windbreak, purification of air, formation of cloud are all forest influence on the environment. But supplying raw materials to the industry is not a forest influence on the environment. So here the correct option is C. Check. I hope you enjoyed this video and you were able to learn a whole lot. Please don't forget to like and comment on this video. Share this link with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this, more questions and explanations on how to solve them. Alright, so till I come your way next time, bye for now.